That's pretty black looking. Well, good evening. Tonight we're going to tackle the CVT fluid change on a 2023 Outback 2.5 4-cylinder. I've been to the dealership. I've got my CVT F3 CVT fluid, original from Subaru, and we've got here an OMT fluid extractor dispenser. I got that off Amazon. I will put a link, an affiliate link for that in the description of the video. Once you see it, I think you're going to really like it. Looks like really the hardest part of this job, besides breaking the fill plug loose, is going to be getting the fluid back in. So we got this extractor and dispenser to help with that. So we're going to go over the steps. It's a pretty easy job. These are made out to be very difficult. In all the forums you read, people say take it to the dealer. I will tell you at the end of this what this cost me total, including buying that tool. So if you're thinking about changing the CVT fluid in your 2023 Subaru Outback, this video may interest you, so stick around. So the first step is you're going to want to get the car lifted at all four corners, and the idea is to have it level. So you can see here we've got jack stand and a jack under the front, jack stand under the rear. Come around the other side of the car, and again we've got, you know, both sides off the ground. Car is sitting about as level as it's going to sit, jacked up like this, but the more level it is, the more of the old fluid you're going to get out of there. So that's kind of an important factor. The very first thing you need to do after jacking it up and making sure it is safe to get under is you need to break loose the fill plug. If you cannot get your fill plug loose, you don't want to try to tackle this job. We're on the passenger side of the car. Underneath here you can see the CVT. Here's the drain plug in the bottom of the pan. And then up on the side here you will see, if I can get it to focus, you should be able to see it actually tells you right above it CVT F-3. So right there, that tells you right there the fluid you're going to put in it. So that is your fill plug. And my vehicle, I was able to use just a standard Allen wrench and then the old school slip a wrench over the end of it trick, and it was extremely tight. I don't know what the torque spec is on this, but in order to break it loose, I had to do one of these numbers. Hook the wrench and push. Looks like that's an 8mm Allen wrench, and then I used a 3/4 inch box end wrench to go over the end of it for leverage, but that is a 14mm socket I just grabbed for the drain plug. The drain plug snapped loose way easier than the fill plug did, which is crazy. You'd think it'd be the other way around. That's pretty black looking for CVT fluid. That's really black. 70,000 miles, actually just shy of 70,000 on this. So I would say we're probably a ways overdue. Now when I went into the dealer and I asked for how many quarts this took, I was told 4 to 5 depending on the mechanic. So I bought 6. At this point I'm hoping 6 is going to be enough. I think right now, with what I got drained out, I'm going to put my plug back in for just a minute. And I'm going to go pour what I just drained into some jugs and get an idea of how much I just took out of there, because there's no running to the dealer tonight to get more fluid. So given that this fluid looks as dirty as it does, what we will probably do is we'll change this now, and then we'll drive it about another 10,000 miles and we'll change it again. We may have to do that for 20 or 30,000 miles, continue to change it every 10,000 until we get a little bit better color out of it when we drain it. All right, so I have filled a 1 gallon container, and there's just a little bit left in my pan, so we got all the 4 quarts out of it. So I'd say we probably can pretty safely let that drain just a little longer, get a little more of that fluid out of there. Of course, we're also assuming that it was full when we started, because the only way to check these is with the engine running. And they say between 95 and 115 degrees, I believe is what I read, for the internal temperature, which of course you're going to need a scan tool to tell that, which I don't have. So I'll be using a heat gun, like a laser infrared heat gun. And my plan is to shoot it into the side of the fill plug as the fluid starts to dribble out and take my temperature there. So we didn't get a whole lot more out of it there. Obviously we could probably let it sit here and do this all night if we wanted, but that's probably what we're gonna call that drained. Get our rag up in here and wipe off the mess. So that's a full gallon, and then not quite a quarter of a gallon. So we're probably looking at somewhere between 4.5 and 5 quarts. So I think buying 6 quarts on my part was probably pretty wise. This is an extractor and a dispenser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to extract fluid from our quarts, and then I will use it to dispense into the vehicle. Pretty slick. It's just got a little dispense and extract valve on the front of it, and you screw it all the way out to extract, all the way into dispense, and then you can pull this handle here and lock it on, and then this will be your on and off for your air, and then you have an on off for your fill and dispense right there. So it looks like it's supposed to be blue in color, not black. You want to be real careful not to spill this stuff. It's 25 bucks a quart. Okay, we're going to turn our valve over to dispense, and we're going to change our fitting out here. We've got a couple of nice little fittings in this kit. I happen to have one picked out that's got a nice little hook on it, so I should just be able to hook that into the side of the transmission pretty easily. I'll get you guys resituated here so we can hopefully get you some footage under here that you can see. Okay, as you can see there, we've got some running out, so it's time to go ahead and stop filling at this point. And in order to stop losing fluid, we're going to put our plug back in, and we're going to kind of snug that down temporarily. Then we're going to need to start the engine and let it start to warm up the transmission. Now it's time to get in the car and start it, and what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the gears. So I'll flip the camera around, you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to start the car, and then we're going to let it run for about 30 seconds is all here, just to let the fluid get moving around. You're going to put your foot on the brake, obviously, so you don't go anywhere. You're going to go reverse, You're gonna hold it there. It's not happy because it sees my garage door is down. And then we're gonna go to neutral. I'm gonna pause about 10 to 15 seconds in each gear here. And we're gonna go to drive. And what this is doing is bleeding the air out of the system. So if there had somehow gotten any air in there, we've just got it out. Now we're gonna go back to neutral, back to reverse, back to drive, back to neutral, and park. So now we just got to go back under the car with our temperature gun and wait till we get it the correct temperature to check our fluid level. The outside of our transmission's reading 96, so I'd say we're probably plenty warm enough to go ahead and check our fluid. Now when I pull this fill plug out, it should be low. It should be not full yet, because I think we only put about 3, maybe 3.5 quarts in here so far. Alright, so now we can go ahead and start refilling. Okay, we're pumping fluid in. As soon as we start getting fluid out the side, we're at operating temperature and we're running. We'll be full and ready to put our plug in. And we are there, which is perfect timing because we just pumped in the last of our 5 quarts. So, looks like our guess was right on the money. It's a 5-quart fluid change. Well, there you go. Our little extractor and dispenser pump from OMT worked great. I'll show you guys the adapter kit here in just a second. I have 1 quart, actually about 1 1/8 quart. I was able to pump what little bit I had left in here into one of those quart bottles. And it's probably 1/8 of a quart if I'm lucky. So 5-quart job. I would recommend buying 6 quarts because if you're off by a little bit, you're gonna wish, you know, you had that other quart. So again, there'll be an Amazon affiliate link for the dispenser extractor pump in the description below. The CVT fluid you're going to have to get from your dealership. This is the adapter kit that it comes with. So you can see all the different adapters in there that fit all different types of transmissions. And I used this one right here with this kind of this hook on it. It worked perfect for that spot I was in. There's a sheet in here that, you know, supposedly tells you what fits what car, but Subaru's not even listed in there. But you could take the flexible hose, which there are 2 of. You saw me use the one to suck the fluid out with. There's a much smaller one here, which would obviously take longer to pump with because it's a smaller diameter. But great tool for the job. Honestly, don't think I would have attempted that job without something like that. I've done differential services and things like that in the past, transfer cases, and I've always used one of those hand pumps. It is such a pain, and to do 4 or 5 quarts like that, it would take you forever because that suction gun only holds about 1/2 quart if you're lucky at a shot. So this made it very nice. You could just get under there and open up the valve. The tool I used to check my temperature, again, another Amazon purchase. I will put an affiliate link for this as well. It's just one of those laser temperature gauges. My hand is currently 88 degrees, in case you're wondering. The car is 78 degrees. So again, I just shot the side of the transmission close to the fill plug. And when I saw 95 degrees on the exterior of the transmission, I knew I was well past probably my minimum 90 degrees on the interior. And that's when we started pumping the rest of the fluid in there. So again, we drained out about the same amount we put back in. And all that's left now is to go test drive the car. We will probably do this again in 10 or 15,000 miles, and maybe 10 or 15,000 after that. Again, we're sitting at about 66,000 miles on this car right now, and that fluid was pretty black looking. So if you're wondering how long you can go, I wouldn't go 66,000 miles. I'm seeing a lot on the internet about changing these every 30,000. And if you're going to keep your car a long time, that's probably not a bad number to go by. So relatively simple job, folks. I told you I'd tell you what this cost me. It was $25 a quart at Subaru for the fluid. So, you know, you do the math, there were 6 of them. Now I only needed 5, so 125. I bought the 5th or the 6th one for just in case, so $150 in fluid. And then that extractor was about $80 on Amazon. So $230 I had invested in my transmission service. And the numbers I've seen on the internet, I've seen anywhere from $350 to over $500 for the service. And there's just no reason for it. This is not that difficult of a job. Don't be intimidated by it. Go online. There are plenty of other videos showing you how to do this. Make sure you're looking at your specific model year. There are differences. This is a 2023. Your drain and fill plug may be in different places on your car. This is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, not a 2.4 liter turbo. The CVTs are different. Drain and fill plugs are going to be probably in different places. I can't tell you for sure. Your front differential, gear oil, drain and fill are down there too, and you don't want to mix those up. So that's the biggest thing, is just make sure you're pulling the right plugs. Other than that, not that difficult of a job. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you found the information helpful. We'll see you in the next one.